Right, let's shift gears and bring you this now. The action is heating up at the Cape Town Sevens with the home side. That's the Blitzbokke, set to take on Samoa in the tournament semi-finals. Newzroom Afrika's Yolulwe Qoshe is in Cape Town for us, in fact, at the Cape Town Stadium, and joins us now live for the latest. And Yolulwe, I imagine the anticipation is, in fact, really building up. The home side set to take to the field at any moment now. I imagine fans are also starting to stream in.
Well, that is absolutely correct, Ayanda. In fact, I'm going to step out of shot now just so my colleague, Lawrence Manjoro, can show you the picture of the fans going up the stadium steps, going to fill up the stadium. Now, I must say, I think the bulk of the supporters were filling it up a little bit earlier. There were streams of supporters filling up the Cape Town Stadium. Now, that is what our viewers at home are seeing now, the iconic Cape Town Stadium, a stadium that also played host to a few games in the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Outside this particular event, it also hosts a football club like Cape Town City in the local football league. It also does host the Stormers in our rugby sense as well. Now, as my colleague starts to pan around, we'll show you more of the surroundings and the landscape of Cape Town and where we are at the moment. And, well, what would Cape Town be without its mountainous landscape? And over there, not too far from here, you can see just bits of Table Mountain, which is, of course, one might say the key or the main tourist attraction of Cape Town. But, of course, now what is attracting the tourists to Cape Town are the Blitzbokke, who will be taking on the All Blacks, New Zealand, in a crunch semi-final here at the Cape Town Stadium. And I'm pleased to say I'm not alone, and joining me now is one of the fine young minds in sports writing at the moment. It goes by the name Avuyile Saula, who writes for Great Sport. Avuyile, appreciate your time. I understand you have been following proceedings from Monday, I hear, But let's talk about this particular spectacle over 3 days so far. Which teams would you say have impressed you the most?
Yeah, Jose, thanks for having me. Yeah, I've been following, covering the Cape Town Sevens for the whole week now. And, a spectacle, Cape Town Sevens were not here for 2 years. So this weekend I've been really impressed by a few teams. I must say the USA men's team has impressed me. Australia women's, the champions. I must also say Spain impressed me by beating New Zealand on day one. And obviously the home side, the Blitzbokke, they've been good. A few teams that have impressed me, but a lot of teams that we already know, how they're going to do. I'm surprised by Fiji, who are not playing in the semi-finals, but also nice to see Samoa in the semi-finals.
Mm-hmm. And you said, the Blitzbokke, so we will stick to the home side. It might be a little bit biased, but you're a person that's been to a lot of their trainings. You're a person that's been to a lot of their press conferences. You've seen the two reigns, the end of Neil Powell and the start of Sandy Lengcobo. What would you say are the key differences and similarities between the two?
Well, I wouldn't say the two are really different. It's just the difference is that Neil Powell had a lot of players at his disposal. Sandy Lengcobo has to work with a lot of young players coming from the academy. I mean, we saw in Dubai that he had to give two debutants their debuts, Ricardo Durate and Masande Mchali. So it's just, breeding in new talent and, of course, working with the academy, whereas Neil Powell had the likes of Cecil Africa, Branko Dupreez, Mfundo Ndlovu, likes of Sako Makata, who have left the system now. So it's just working with the new guys in the system. What I must say is that Sandy Le is very adamant when it comes to the defense of the team. Yesterday he said that he wasn't happy with the defense. So he is a guy that demands a lot, and hopefully today the team can perform.
And indeed, it seems like he's very demanding, because on paper, you and I and everyone at home can see it's 3 wins from 3 in the group stages. How much more can you demand? And from what you've seen, how would you assess the way that they've gone about their business? Do you think they've still got more in the tank for when it matters the most now?
I mean, squad depth is going to play an important role in the games that are left now. I think we're going to get a good team out for Samoa, and then the final, it's either we're going to play New Zealand or USA. Sandile demands a lot, yes, but the team has been good. In day one against Canada, they were not up to standard. In day two, they came out, they beat Fiji. Doesn't happen often. And then obviously they won their last pool game against France. So it demands a lot, but yeah, the team has been good.
All right. Thank you so much for your input, Avuyile. We've seen what you are doing covering this Blitzbokke team, and so we appreciate the insight that you have been able to give us. There was Avuyile Saula, who was just talking about the demands of the new coach, and one of the key demands would be to keep this particular trophy here at home for the first time since the 2015-2016 season. Can they do that? Well, who knows? But I will be here to tell you whether they do or don't later, so stick around.
All right, Yolulwe Qoshe, thanks very much indeed. We look forward to it. Thanks very much. He's live to us from the Cape Town Stadium, of course, in the Western Cape.